young people support right-wing anti-immigration parties across Europe, and authorities trying to neuter right-wing parties such as the AfD. I mean, Justin, it's interesting that they blurred the face of this attacker, the man stabbing people, but they didn't blur, they almost deliberately doxed young people singing Auslander Raus, a song that's been seen as xenophobic and racist or whatever.
Yeah,
and it's led to them being those people singing the song being fired from their jobs and
I guess it's carrying on from the Trump thing. I mean, singing that song. I know that Germany has specific laws because of their history about singing. So you can't sing Deutschland über alles and stuff.
Yeah.
So I'm not saying that's correct either, but I think the general public's a very dangerous game you play when you start gaslighting people and you start going, oh, this attack happened, and they don't tell you about it, and they sort of like switch and they look around and go, well, who had done the attack? And they go, oh, we don't know. You do know. Yeah. And the thing is, the truth. There's three sides to the story. There's to be like the right side, the left side, and then there's the truth. The truth should always win out. People are going to get sick of it because people aren't stupid.
Yeah.
And it's not racist to say what happened, what actually happened, because the way it's reported is like they're completely massaging the facts and presenting one side of the beast and not the other side.
Yeah, I mean, Precious, it feels like that. It feels like they're, whenever an attack like this happens, they're very quick to rush out and condemn anybody who's concerned about the attack.
I think it is. I think it's very sad to see that they're not actually, discussing the real issue here. This person harmed another being, and we need to be concerned as to why. A person,
I can tell you.
Well, we know. Well, this is why it needs to be said.
There's a bit of a pattern.
I mean, he's an extremist, and he's obviously has something against these people, and he's come against them and he's attacked them. And we need to be concerned of what this is showing the world, because it's happening in the UK, it's happening in France, it's happening in Italy, it's happening worldwide. I mean, in colleges around the world, universities, campuses. This has to stop.
Yeah.
The extremism it has to stop. There is also a lot of people that are getting involved that have no idea what is going on in Israel and have no idea.
Anything to do with Israel?
Well, I mean, obviously we're going about the activists and all the things that are going on right now, but it's an extremism and we need to get a handle on it because it is kind of getting out of control.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think it's been out of control for a while, but anybody who notices or questions it gets accused of being racist.
Even if you ask, like, evenly, and just go, what did happen? And it's like, it's crazy because, like, they will, on the other side, people go, oh, you can be described as things like far-right adjacent, which doesn't even mean anything. But the other way, it's just, oh, no, nothing to see here. Yeah. It's insane. It really is. It's like insanity.
But I wouldn't be worried about it because Precious has asked it to stop.
No. Well, we need it to stop. I mean, this is back. Well, there we go. I mean, the authorities got confused when they got there and didn't know who was who. So, yeah,
they knew. I think is that a diversity training thing? Like, racial profiling is bad at an airport and stuff. But if there's an anti-Islam extreme rally going on and someone's getting stabbed and it comes over your walkie-talkie, you should probably tackle the person that looks like a Muslim. Yeah. Not the... That's
right.
The thing.
I mean, that's what I thought that was happening, and then obviously we had a discussion. I mean, the person obviously wasn't.
But my concern is that the left-wing establishment is actually sort of tacitly approving of attacks on right-wing politicians because they know. I mean, it's like in Iran, before the fall of the Shah. Yeah. The leftists allied and marched with the Islamists to help overthrow the Shah and get the Islamists into power.
Well,
any promises that were made, obviously, fell apart and... Iran hasn't become a left-wing paradise.
Well, because that's one of the first earliest battles of this. It's not just it's a very complicated issue.
It's very complicated.
But basically, it's a left versus right, Team World versus Team Britain, and up from some other place comes this other question. I don't think they should automatically attack a Muslim.
No, I meant in that situation. No. Basically, right, OK, what I meant was they got called to a situation. Yeah. Attack the guy with the machete. Yeah. That's the thing. It is a complicated issue, but that situation wasn't complicated. Yeah. There was a bad guy with a knife attacking police. They didn't tackle him, they tackled a bystander.
And maybe if the police hadn't been distracted with all these hours of diversity training, they had more training on, go after the guy with the knife, then, some people would have
I think you made an excellent point. They've probably been trained that some some guy who doesn't look like any historically.
Well, I think that it's obvious who was the perpetrator. You get there, and he's got a knife in his hand, but it's like.
But why did they attack the other guy?
Well, apparently the guy that the police apprehended and sat on top of, he'd actually attacked the wrong person. He'd attacked somebody who he thought was the attacker.
Right.
So everybody, I mean, it was
like the Keystone Cops, isn't it?
And then the police, obviously, the policeman actually got hurt, and he's now in hospital. We still don't know really an update as to
he was stabbed while he was apprehending the wrong person.
Yeah.
So he had his back to the perpetrator.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just all round. I mean,
and we still
instead of wasting time, diversity training, you need to be training for this situation.
Yeah.
It's more important than being taught sensitivity. I don't know what they call it.
Yeah. But this situation is just one of a million situations which are going to come in the future. This is just like it's not even a red flag. It's just one tiny little mark in the sky that says something bad is happening.